Hi, everyone, and welcome to our immersion information video. Rhonda, would you like to introduce yourself?
Uh-huh. Hi, my name is Rhonda Cribbs, and I am here as one of the facilitators for this upcoming immersion in January. And I'm just being with the space right now and seeing what comes through my body to share with you. I've been in this process for many years. I think HD came to me, Human Design came to me in 2008. And, then it wasn't until 2012 that I had my foundation reading. There was things that were happening in my life that really wanted me to understand what this information was that I had been sitting with and looking at my body graph. And then after that, I responded to taking the foundation classes. And by January 2013, I had responded to my very first immersion. And that was a huge game changer for me because it helped me to really get out of my mind and get into the body and see what the strategy and authority was like. And so since then, I have attended several live immersions, including going to a live workshop to have a training on how to facilitate one of these. And Human Design has just brought me so much. It's brought me the gift of accepting myself, liking myself, coming to this place of where this love has been growing inside of me through learning how to trust life, that I don't have to go after anything, chase after anything, that I can just be me, see what life brings, and then have the time. I'm an emotional being. I'm a 6'2" with emotional authority, a manifesting generator. And so, this waiting has brought such a deep relaxation into my life. It's eliminated a lot of resistance and things that were just not necessary for this body to go through. It's brought in correct relationships, including a partnership that I'm in right now, which has just been so beautiful and has deepened even my process even more, as well as this connection that I have with you, Victoria. And, this is just such a gift. And yeah, so anyway, that's a little bit about me for now. Would you like to share about yourself, Victoria?
My name is Victoria Wilhite. Human Design was first introduced to me when I was 30. I'm 44 now, and I'll never forget, it was an ego manifester. And he said, "You're a man, Jen. Oh, you can be an asshole." And I remember feeling like, oh, I don't want to know anything about that. But then I watched as my life started to go. I'm a 4/6 with sacral authority. And I remember my life starting to go through all these processes in that point. I was going up on the roof and things were changing. And I didn't have my first foundation reading until 2014. And it was amazing to see how Human Design had already started affecting my life. Like, as far as sacral authority and watching the body, I had started playing this game with myself, calling, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it, which meant, either my body was responding to doing it or it was sitting back in a chair going, I am not going to go do that. And it gave me this wonderful vocabulary. And with my defined head and ajna, it helped me to conceptualize all these things that I was doing in my life and gave me a very deep understanding. I went through the foundation classes and guide training. And then I was introduced to Mary Ann. And I remember Marianne and I sitting together, and we had asked each other if I should come to her. She had already finished. She had said she wasn't doing any more immersions, but she had an immersion mentoring workshop coming up. And I asked her if I was supposed to be there, and she said, "Uh-huh." And we asked each other these yes/no questions, and there I was, and that's where I met you. And for me, the immersion experience, I've likened it to, I have an open G, and I've done all these incredible things. I've had all these amazing experiences in my life. Like, I was an advanced firearms instructor, and I could teach, I teach people theory in a classroom about how to shoot a gun. And that's what classes in the HG were for me. I was learning all this incredible theory, and then I go to this workshop, and it is the practice. It was like going out onto the range for me and shooting a gun. It was like all of it, made all this amazing sense. And I was like, this was really the piece that, for me, after all these different, experiences I had, I was like, I remember walking in the room and going, this is yummy. Like, it felt so yummy to be with all these people and really respect each other's strategy and authority, with no resistance. As a man, Jen, anger and frustration, it's not a part of my life. And now it's really, even if I happen to notice a little twinge of it, and we talked about it the other day, it's like, it's almost humorous to watch that part of my movie now. It really has given me, human design has given me such an ease to my life, and this absolute calmness. And even though, we still have the mind says we should, and blah, 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 blah. My body, it can't make my body do anything. It's still, this ease. And I had facilitated a workshop. I did an immersion at the beginning of this year, and it is such a joy and a satisfaction to see people, drop into their bodies, and get to feel that yumminess of themselves. And that's truly the gift, the simple gift of HG is to, all the gurus and stuff out there tell about, say that the answers are inside you. They really are. You get there's no metal or all these different things out there. It's just, you get you, and this self-love and satisfaction. And I'm really honored to be able to share that with others now. And we've struggled through our process. There's been, the not self struggles. So we've gone through these things, and now we have these amazing tools that we can now share, with the other. Would you like to talk about what the immersion is and what the immersion is not?
Yes, thank you for asking. Yeah, I started in January 2013. And, I felt like in the beginning I'd only go to one, and then I had no idea that my body would continually, respond. And of course, there were some immersions like in Ibiza or in Europe or even in Taiwan that Marianne Winiger had offered. I pretty much was responding to the ones that were in Sedona. And I had been to one that was led by her and John Martin, which was the Art of Respect, which really got into the interactions between the projectors and generators, and that was really insightful. And then, there was one in Scottsdale, one in Las Vegas that I asked her if it was correct for her to offer there where I was living. And each immersion was different. No two were the same, and basically what an immersion is a safe place that you can go to explore and validate for yourself what using your strategy and authority is for your type. And it really is for you to validate that for yourself, because human design is not a belief system. There's nothing to believe. It's something that you walk alone. It's your own path to see what's true for you or not. And that was big for me, being a 6'2", trust, and being able to see all these things that are out in the world, and all the self-exploration that I had did earlier on. And when I came to this and began to really understand what that was, it was really the immersion that did that for me. It wasn't all the classes. The classes were, yes, necessary for me to gain understanding, but they were very mental. And it was the immersion that helped me to get real in the vehicle and see what this was about for me. And so I felt each time I would go into the safe space that was created for this, was that I got to take a bath into my own frequency and see and discover what this was for me. And it was, each time I went, I felt like I was arriving to the refuge of myself by being able to drop out of the everyday life and come in there. And the thing is that the recognition that I wasn't alone, that there was all these other people in the room that were all in this process, was comforting to me, because it's a very difficult process and it's not for everyone. And so, you know, and so as things come up, because, you know, there's no fixed set schedule to an immersion. There's like a loose flow of guided, okay, we'll talk about the simple of human design, because it's not a class, it's not a lecture, it's not a workshop in that sense. So it's really truly a place that you can explore your strategy and authority. And you're meeting each other person in that immersion as well, from your place of authority, wherever that is in your body chart, in your body graph. So, you know, things can come up. It can, you know, old conditioning patterns. You could have insights, even by other people sharing. You know, things come up, and you never know what's going to come up. It will just be there, and that's the space to allow for that to happen. And so, you know, from what I've seen, yes, this definitely happens, and there can be emotional release, but you're in this supportive, safe environment for that to happen. And, you know, there can be little activities, you know, like one immersion, we went out and we just radically waited, you know, not even talking unless it was initiated. And then the next day we reconvened, and anyone that felt it was correct to share what they saw would come about, and we would share and we would reflect, and it could bring insight into people. Wow, you know, we're not going towards things anymore. Things are coming to us, and then we can actually practice our strategy and authority if that's responding or waiting for the invitation. And, you know, so this is what I saw. And in this space, I felt nurtured in my process. And because the process is so alone and so difficult, this immersion was like this cradling of my being through a very fragile period of my life, as I was rediscovering what has been there all along. And so to me, the immersions have been very, very precious, because they've been a support. They've helped me to understand myself and how my mechanics operate. And yeah, that's what I see. Would you like to share now something about what you feel that what the immersion is?
I recognized, you know, after the last one that I facilitated, you know, it goes back to what I said about, you know, you can tell people, but when they experience it, really hits home. And, you know, we'll, according to our strategy and authority, play some games. And when you really get to feel, you know, I recognize that when the one I met you, when you feel the aura, when you get to see, you know, we'll play these different games and see where the aura cuts off, what you feel, and take different types out of the room and different authorities out of the room, and you get to actually feel it in your being,
Mhm.
for me, it was truly life changing.
Mhm. Mhm.
It really, I recognized after that with Marianne, I recognized coming home and really seeing things even clearer. I've always been a very acute people watcher, but this was different. It was like almost really recognizing, auric fields and things. It was like you can just start to really see what's going on around you on a very deep
Uh-huh.
level. And that it's not personal, and
Uh-uh.
there's no choice, you know.
Mhm.
And how beautiful is that, when you really get to
Mm.
let that go and know that, enjoy the ride. Some days
Mhm.
are some days are freaking great. And, eh, you get to deeply understand yourself. And that, I remember coming back from Marianne's feeling so deeply satisfied, like this, I call it the,
Mm.
the, I'm so satisfied,
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
didn't even truly know how to explain deep satisfaction, that deep level. And I'm watching my body just go, it's like, oh,
Mm.
this, it's not happiness. It's not different emotions. It's not an emotion. It's this frequency that just encompasses my body. That's just like, oh, that was such a fulfilling, delicious day. And to
Mhm.
meet other people in the same space is delicious. It's yummy when people really respect themselves and their strategy and authority,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and we can facilitate that, to really help them respect each other and themselves, in their strategy and authority. It's magical to me. I mean, it
Mhm.
really is a
Mhm.
magical experience.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
It is.
So with that, um, would you like to attend? We invite you. All types are welcome. All authorities are welcome. And please, contact us if you have any questions. Do you have any questions?
Mhm.
And is there anything you'd like to add, Rhonda?
Not at this time right now, no. Maybe we'll make another video. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this feels good right now. And
Well, bye for now.
bye.